haven't won a game. You haven't won a game, dude.
You have a favorite?
Ketchup.
Clapping hates Shelbyville.
Hey, dude.
He's from Clacken. I like ketchup. I don't like this.
Diamond Dozen Podcast.
All right, Sammy, we're back. I'm thinking, do you want to have a look back at last year's draft and just kind of have a quick review and see how things played out so far?
I think it's good for perspective, right?
Yeah.
The top three were fantastic last year,
Bangers.
right? You had, who went first? Yamamoto?
First overall, well, everybody thought it was going to be Yamamoto.
Oh.
Right to Lord, remember?
Yeah,
You remember.
I remember.
You remember.
I remember. Wyatt Langford.
Number one overall.
He's going to be, right now he's a top 30 dynasty guy. Perfect.
Should have never questioned Lord for a second, I feel like,
Right.
at this point.
He's into,
What the fuck am I doing?
he's got his ear to the ground.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
And he played it perfectly and got more pitching out of it somehow. By not drafting Yamamoto, he got more pitching and more like good pitching.
Yeah. Yamamoto goes number 2 to Plum, who he probably wanted Langford because they traded with each other after.
Right. And Plum just happened to splash in Cole Reagans in that deal,
Yeah.
who just happened to be a fucking stud last year. Better than Yamamoto.
It was a weird splash.
I think, yeah, those splashes, they'll get you.
But he's heard enough. He's heard enough about the Regans.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's all good, Plum. We still love you.
But third overall, Paul Skeens to Hammy. And I told you on the last pod, I think he's the number one SP you'd want to have in Dynasty.
Who else, right?
Yeah.
Like, hopefully he's a little more robust than, like, some of these other guys who look great and then just break.
Yeah.
But
Complete home run for Hammy. Getting him there.
great pick.
Yeah. Hammy's established quite the rotation. His rotation, I'd put up there with anybody's, actually.
Let's have a look at Hammy's rotation here real quick, just while we're talking.
Well, he's got
about
some
it.
older guys, right? And, you know, but Sale just won a Cy Young and just had like the best year of his career. And
Yep.
all pitchers get hurt all the time. So you can be worried about him. You can be worried about DeGrom. But DeGrom could be a top 15 guy.
These days, it's almost like clockwork. If you have the best pitcher, wait 2 years and he's going to have Tommy John.
Right.
That's how it seems to go.
Right.
If you
So
throw-
now he has Skeens to be into that top area.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got not fringe guys. He's got like guys. Like he's got Ronaldo Lopez.
Lopez, yeah.
He's got
Pablo
Justin
Lopez,
Steele.
yeah.
He's got Pablo Lopez. He's got
Bailey Ober. He's got
Bailey Ober. Yeah.
Jacob DeGrom. He's got
Peralta.
Sandy Alcantara. He's got Freddie Peralta, Christopher Sanchez, and like you said, Justin Steele. So, no, he's got
you
he
think
could trim
he
one
does?
or two, and he's doing pretty good. So,
Yeah, pretty good, man.
yeah, nice job. I see he's trying to move Ronaldo Lopez for some draft picks here. So,
Yeah.
anybody interested? I don't have any left, but
Oh, you're done.
I'm done. Yeah,
You're done.
I would like another pick, but
So those top 3 picks were fantastic. I'm all in on all 3 guys.
oh yeah.
And
Langford.
then there was some whiffing. There was some whiffing involved.
So who's the first
Sweep.
big whiffa?
I think Sweep taking that catcher Salas.
Yeah, still on lists, but catchers, I just
He was super young when he took him. Good stuff.
Johnny likes him that way, you know.
And Berger, you're a whiffer.
I'm
You
a
whiffed.
big whiffa. I
You-
fucked up the first round
You
hard
whiffed.
last year.
You whiffed. You took Craig Kimbrell, who was productive for a bit.
Yeah.
And then you took Encarnacion Strand, who you cut. I carried him for a bit last year. Just waiver wire fodder.
Yeah.
Basically.
But pick 10 and 11 or what I should have done.
I took Dylan Cruz at 10, and Imanaga went to Plum Point at
Yeah.
12.
And even Walker Jenkins in between there at 11.
Oh,
Lord
oh
is
my God. Yeah.
top prospect. Like,
Yeah, that was a big leave off by me. Yeah,
So-
for sure. He's top 5 right now.
yeah, I got caught up in the fuck minors. I'm just trying to win right now shit. And I forgot that when I used to be a good team, I used to draft prospects and do really well at it. So it's time to maybe get back to that for the old long balls, but we'll see.
Get back to your roots.
Yeah, but Kimbrel and Christian Encarnacion Strand with a 7 and 9 pick last year, first round. You're an idiot, Berger.
Yeah. So who knows? This year could be a total folly, and sorry to quote Wilkins, total folly, but like it could be like nothing compared to last year. But you already have Wyatt Langford, you have Yamamoto, you have Skeens, you have Dylan Cruz, you have Imanaga. Second round went really well, actually. Like that's where like players emerged. Ohapi to Hammy, catcher. He's a catcher. You got to have this guy on your team now. Like he's that type of guy. I took Jackson Merrill late in the second round.
That's
and
damn near the pick of the draft, except for the guy who came after that.
Well, Roman Anthony goes to the beer leaguers after that, like immediately, and he's now the number one prospect,
Top prospect
in the
yeah.
game. So
Tobe, great job at number 24 pick there.
yeah, makes you wonder: is there that potential in this draft right now?
Yeah, and is it like you just strike gold and get lucky, or you really dug on a guy and you're like, okay, I took him late, and he goes from being off the radar one year to top prospect the next with a good year? Like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's fucking hard.
The third round, Bailey Ober went to Hammy, and he's a guy.
Yep.
He's a second pitcher. He's a second or third pitcher.
And even Brownie's pick there at the top, Matt Shaw, he's at the top of a lot of prospect lists, third base prospect for the Cubs. So
He's climbed since.
Yeah.
He's gone up list since that, right? Jackson Jobe to Lord of the Diamonds.
another top prospect that wasn't a top last year, but is this year.
Yeah,
Good to be a top.
yeah. Fourth round, Mason Miller goes to Wilkins.
Yep.
Top 5 closer.
Yeah, definitely. Some might consider top 3 if his arm can hold up, but he throws like 101, and we'll see.
Yeah, it's really
Think about a mediocre
it's
team.
his arm, like you think, and then the save opportunities, right?
Yeah. But mediocre team still wins a lot of close games. Like the games they win are going to be close. So it's, we'll see. Great fucking pick in the fourth, though.
Do you want to talk about our favorite draft? Because we were doing some research a couple days ago, looking at drafts, preparing for this podcast, right? Want to look back to the 2018 draft. And I remember this specifically. It was at Craig's apartment. It was an in-person draft. We were all in the room.
I think it was in your basement.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure it's at Craig's.
I remember Lord mispronouncing Acuna's name in your basement specifically. I don't think Lord ever went to Craig's for a draft.
Why do I picture taking Tatis?
Anyway, either way,
No, he did. In my basement, he did mispronounce Acuna.
that's the memorable part. Nobody knew him at that time, so no big deal, Lord. It's all good.
Okay.
But
I think you're right.
yeah,
I remember it.
I think that's the first time I met Lord.
Yeah.
And it was one of our last in-person drafts, actually, which I love how smooth the online stuff we're doing goes, but I missed the fucking drunken piss up.
For sure.
And all the terrible trades that happened after the second round.
2018. Ronald Acuna goes first overall. And how did Greg pronounce his name?
I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't how we were being told to pronounce it at that time, I don't think. But
I was hanging on to my purse hoping I would get him.
yeah.
And he said his name wrong, and he really butchered it, but he got him. That's what Lord does. He succeeds. He just does well.
He's really been on it.
I think I made a controversial choice here, though. I took Fernando Tatis Jr. number 2.
When everybody thought you were going to take.
Shohei Ohtani, who down and dirty took at number 3. What a top 3, buddy.
Fucking Acuna, Tatis, Ohtani.
This is going to be the draft. When we're done talking about this is the one. So anytime we talk about future drafts, you're only hoping this could be this. This is incredible.
I think my favorite part of the draft, though, is number 4 pick. Mixed in with all these amazing players is
Slated to be the first base starting guy for the New York Yankees, Greg Bird.
Green Eggs and Ham Fighters at that time.
That's Wilkins.
That was Wilkins. Yep.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Great pick. Burley still has him. He takes Hunter Green.
Not bad.
I took Bo Bichette,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been flipped a couple times, but he's got a permanent home at Sweep the Leg, right? Sixto Sanchez was actually a big deal, and he's fizzled out, right?
Big time.
Over time, whatever. Austin Hayes, same thing. Not as big a deal, but like
Yeah, he's
a power hitter guy, supposed to be a big thing in Baltimore.
He's having trouble sticking with the team right now. Yep.
Then Sweep the Leg took Matt Olson. So I don't know what happened after that. Did he cut him?
He ended up on my roster, and then I traded him to you for a first rounder.
Yeah, that's right. He was on Oakland. He was on Oakland at the time. Yeah. I took Forrest Whitley. He's like an all-time fizzler. Okay, supposed to be the best guy going. And
Dude, I just cut him last month.
And then at the end of the first round, Louis Robert, number 10. Come on.
Not bad.
I think better days are ahead for him, don't you?
He's still only 27 years old now, but yeah, well, he's been putting up pretty decent numbers. His OBP was a bit of a dumpster fire last year at 278, but that franchise in the White Sox is a complete dumpster fire. So
when you look at Robert now, how do you feel about him? Is he like an institution on your team, or do you feel like I'd like to move on if I could?
I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. Every year he seems to have these little hip tweaks and stuff that happen, but somehow he comes back. I keep expecting him to come back and just suck, but then he comes back and he's on fire and he's still stealing bases. So it's like, all right. But so right now it feels like it would be a sell low on him. And I still think he has a chance to be a top 12 outfielder with his power and speed combo and just reaching his prime age at 27.
So the second round was pretty unspectacular, right? Kind of coast through that. Like, it's not a perfect draft, but it's amazing. Third round, Berger, you got Royce Lewis and Juan Soto.
Yep.
You're on your way to many championships with these picks.
If I could just stick with my picks, yeah. This is back when I used to do lots of research.
Oh, give me a break though, right? Getting those two guys in the third round.
Great. Yeah. I like it a lot.
And then you got Yordan Alvarez in the fourth going to Klacken.
Pretty fucking good.
Pretty fucking good, man.
Mm-hmm.
So in totality, you get Acuna, Tatis, Ohtani, Bichette, Matt Olson, Louis Robert, Royce Lewis, Juan Soto, and Yordan Alvarez.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're hard-pressed to beat that draft.
Yeah. And that's leaving out the second rounders, which included Walker Buehler, who hasn't really, panned out.
He had a thing, though.
And I think he's still not going to be bad. I think he's still recovering, coming back from the Tommy John stuff. Nick Castellanos, he's still owned, isn't he? Yeah, Sweep the League's got Nick Castellanos.
I think him and Buehler aren't for long, though.
I think they're right on the edge of if they're going to, it's if Castellanos is only hitting 23 homers and putting up a 311 OBP, that's probably
pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, pretty fringy for sure. Good call.
Yeah, fantastic draft.
Yeah, no, that's...
I think that's got to be the best supplemental draft we've ever had.
So I guess...
Since the inaugural one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My question to you is, of those top three, Acuna, Tatis, and Ohtani, who, maybe it's obvious, but who would you want on your team right now?
I would flip that order for my priority. I go Ohtani, Tatis, Acuna.
Concerned Acuna is not going to bounce back from the second ACL?
We'll talk about it
surgery?
in the next segment.
Okay.
But enough already with Acuna's injuries. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, he's already said that he's going to slow down on the base paths.
Yeah.
So
it's not good.
But do you think he can hit 45 bombs?
Yeah. There's no doom here. It's not doom. It's just he's not the best player.
He's not the unicorn who can go 40-70 anymore.
Yeah. That's where I fall with him.
And I would say I'd agree with you there on the order because I feel like Tatis is not even, I wouldn't say not even close to his potential yet, but like I think he's got a ways to go, and hopefully he gets all this stupid shit out of his system, and he just looks like a fucking beast.
So are you a buyer on Tatis? Are you a guy?
I still think he's a douche, but
yeah,
of those three, I'd almost be most comfortable with him this year because I'm a little concerned about this pitching stuff with Ohtani. He's those hitting numbers are not gonna be the same this year.
You think so?
How can they be? He's like, it's really hard to hit in the major leagues. It's really hard to pitch in the major leagues. Nobody does both. There's a reason. I think he's going to have a major downtick from last year because of the pitching thing. And I think the Dodgers are probably like, let's let him do the pitching thing, but obviously
That's where the Dodgers are fuckery because they can absorb that. Ohtani could have way less hitting stats and it wouldn't even matter. Dodgers are fine.
They're
fine.
Yeah. Well, they'll be next thing you know, they're platooning fucking Ohtani or something.
I don't see a big downtick. Like, not big. Mm-hmm. But I could see, like, last year was incredible. So I could see, like,
I think he's maybe 40-40.
10% less.
Yeah, 40-40 instead of 50-50 or something. But
yeah.
I think the bombs are going to be there more than the steals. But I just think if you're pitching and you're preparing to pitch every fifth or sixth day, it's like that's got to impact you at the plate and your green light. Like, he can't be having a green light all the time to steal whenever he wants anymore.
No, that's where you're right. I think the steals will go severely down.
You can't have him pulling a hammy and he can't make his next start. Now, maybe that's exactly what they want. So they can be like, okay, Shohei, we're just going to bat you for now. Let's cool it on the pitching. But obviously they're going to try to do whatever they can to keep their $700 million man happy. So
exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what a draft, huh?
Amazing. Yeah, pretty damn good. And Tatis is on Shelby now, yeah?
Yeah.
I
traded him.
Still only 26 years old. That was in the Harper deal?
That was for Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Not bad.
Well, I love Bryce Harper, so that's
great.
Rational, right? Just trade one of the best guys in the league for.
I find whenever I trade with my heart, it always works out great.
Oh, yeah. Make trades. Who cares?
Yeah, it's fine.
Who cares?
And I'll talk shit about whatever because I'm just butthurt. When I see a trade that I think, oh, whoever gave up too much, and we know whoever is, I'm just butthurt because I didn't get to make the deal and get the player, right? I'm bitching about it. That's whatever.
Well, I had a trade in mind. I had two trades in mind. I wanted to get the reliever from San Francisco. What's his name?
Ryan Walker, yeah.
I wanted him. Like, from Plum Point, and we were talking about it. And back in my mind, I was like, Corey Seager. I need a shortstop better than Anthony Volpe, right? It was kind of a priority. And you guys made that trade. And I wanted to comment right away. I was pissed off.
Yeah.
And you guys just swapped players that I wanted to have. And to me, it was like, those guys are off limits now. But I'm not going to get those fucking players.
You never know with Plum, though. Like, most guys, once they get a player, they hold on to him for a while.
With Plum.
But with this guy, you're like, he just, like, when you think he just put some nice pieces in place, then he just like, oh, let's just fucking
Plum is
get some
his
new
own
ones.
podcast, buddy. Plum deserves his own.
Yeah.
I would love a whole layout of everything he's done in this off season, and I would love to talk to him about it. I'd like to see piles of players incoming, outgoing. I'd love to talk about this with him.
My guess is he has a cork board beside his desk or couch or whatever.
A cork board.
And it's like one of those like murder detective ones with all the strings and the
Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Can you picture that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how he is doing it. And it's just such a tangled web of yarn at this point that he needs a new cork board. But
do you think the yarn is in the wrong spots? Like the yarn, like he's made so many that the yarn is going in.
Yarn is like doubling back over itself multiple times.
Yeah.
And so you can't even figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But
I could see that being an issue with the yarn.
Yeah.
Being all over the place.
Too
like
much
that,
yarn.
Right?
I think a little too much yarn.
Okay.
But
yeah, I would love to have an entire Plum.
yeah.
Let's go Plum.
Yeah.
That's why we have to have a Plum episode. I want to see the totality of it. I want to see like
I hope there's method
in his
to the
thought
madness.
process because he'll defend it. I know he will, and it's great. He's been great.
Yeah. Oh no. A definite plus for the league. Absolutely.
Yeah, like when you think he's gonna calm down and not do any more, and like he did a lot last year. No, there's no way he's gonna do more trades. There's no. This is the most he's ever done.
Well, he got Seager
This is the most he's ever done. Like
and trade away.
they traded away Shane Baz. I didn't even notice that during the draft last night.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that had happened, right? And he traded away Jordan Lawler after getting him from Dirty, and it was just like,
There was nothing left from one.
why'd you get him?
Why'd you get him?
But whatever.
Anyway, yeah,
we'll
we're
litigate that in a future pod.
Not mad.
Diamond Dozen Podcast.
You ruined my season.
I won the deal.
Cliff. We're past that minutia, right? Thanks, dude.
Not prancing around. Just got that out.
Diamond Dozen Podcast.